You're a good decision maker? You're a great decision maker? Do you make decisions? Are you decisive? Do you make decisions? Not making a decision, right? Like procrastination, staying in the same place, that's a decision also. Is that a good decision for you? A bad decision? Hey, listen, just understand we are where we are in our lives, ladies and gentlemen. Me, you, all of us, because of the decisions that we've made. That's all. You have to come to terms with that. If you don't like where you are in a certain area, if you don't like where you are in your health life, we got to make better decisions because the decisions we've made have not helped us, have not gotten us to a place that we want to be. Are you not happy where you are financially? It's just right, just your decisions, the decisions that you've made financially over the past 5, 10, 15, 20 years. If you don't like it, we make better decisions. You don't like where you are in your relationship, make better decisions. You don't, right? This is a game of you versus you because you control the decisions that you make. The two things you can control, ladies and gentlemen, your actions and your attitude. That's it. You can't control anything else. You can control how you view things, the lens you view things out of, your attitude, your response to things. You can control that, and you can control your actions, the decisions that you make. So, are you making good decisions? That's what ET was talking to you about. We got to make some different decisions if we want different results. We got to make some different decisions if you want different results. Most people want a different life or they want different things to happen, yet they make the exact same decisions every day. The only way your life changes, the only way your circumstance changes, the only way your situations change is if you choose different things. So you know the thesis of the cause, y'all. I always say if you change your thinking, you change your life. Well, this is the in-between part of that. Because if you change your thinking, you'll make different decisions. See how that works? You don't just make a different decision. Like you have to think differently about your situation. You have to think differently about whatever you're trying to change. And then your actions and habits follow that. The way that you make different decisions is by changing how you think about things. How do we change how we think? Again, reminder, change what you're consuming. Change what's going in your eyes, change what's going in your ears, change the environment you're around, change the people that you're around. That is what allows you to change your thinking. You have to be put into environments where other people think differently than you, and you stay there. You don't just keep taking in the same information you've been taking in for the past 10 years because that's what's gotten you here. I gave this example before. When I wanted to change my health life, I had to get new information and take in new things around health. I had to learn new things. And therefore, I could make better decisions. In your financial life, you guys know I'm in the money business, so we talk a lot about this stuff. If you want different outcomes, you have to get new information about your money, about how money works, about how your habits create what you're building, about how your emotions are running your money. You have to take in new information and think differently about it so then you can make different decisions when it comes to your money. It sounds very simple, y'all. It sounds very simple. Like I said, this is just a reminder. But are you doing it? Are you actively focused on these things every single day? If you're one of the people that say, I want to get to my ideal life. I want to get to the life I don't need a break from. I want to grow. I want to become the man or woman God called me to be. Well, that's going to come down to you making better decisions. Flat out. That's what it's going to be. Eric Thomas said something in there. He was saying for every lesson, in every lesson, there's a blessing, right? In every lesson, there's a blessing. I've heard it said many different ways, but it still reigns true. I've heard it said in every adversity, there's a seed of equal or greater opportunity if you find it, if you look for it, if that's what you're focused on. In every adversity, in every challenge in your life, there's a seed of equal or greater opportunity, blessing, opportunity on the other side. If you look at it, if you pay attention to that, if your mind is not focused on that, if your mind is just focused on the negative, if it's just focused on the bad, if it's just focused on the, oh, woe is me, here's another situation, I can never get out of this, right? If that's the operating system, you can't even see the seed of opportunity, the seed of the blessing. So you got to start making some different decisions around how you view adversity. This is what we talked about on Wednesday. It's making different decisions around how you're viewing what you're going through in life. This is, again, how we get to our ideal life, how we change our life. It's by looking at things differently. Change your thinking, you change your life. So again, there's always going to be a blessing inside of that adversity, inside of that challenge. Eric Thomas gave you the example of how COVID, right, completely shifted his business because all he did was go out and speak. But now that gave him the ability to sit and write a book, which actually led him to more speaking after we're out of COVID, right? Blessings. So you got to pay attention to that. We are our decisions. I wrote that down. We are our decisions. Something that he said in the beginning of this, which is kind of, the place I'll land is no dream is too big for you. If you want, again, it starts with the vision. It starts with what you're headed towards. It starts with what you see of your life. It starts with, where am I going? What is the life I want to create? And from there, once you have a vision, you can start to think differently about your life, and that'll allow you to make better decisions. But you got to keep dreaming. You got to write things down. These are the keys to you getting to your ideal life. In our text, 177 mental toughness secrets, which goes along with that, no dream is too big for me, that, hey, the great ones are products of their own imagination. You're a product of your own imagination. This is important to understand. If you're going to make different decisions, right? It all starts up here with how you're thinking about life. We all got some stinking thinking. We all got some areas in our life where we're not thinking the greatest. It's not allowing us to perform in the way that we need to. It's not allowing us to show up as the man or woman God called us to be because of how we're thinking, because of a programming from what we were told, from what we heard, from old traumas, whatever it is. But just know the great ones are a product of their own imagination. Here's what this says in the text. It says, while average performers think of imagination as child's play, the world class relies on it as a mental preview of things to come. Before champions make a move, they have lived out the scenario through imagination. The great ones know imagination is the first step in the design of the perfect house or the perfect life. Through this powerful faculty, they can preview their futures. Champions often go on sabbaticals to places of great natural beauty for the sole purpose of heightening their sense of imagination when pursuing the solution to a problem. Pros understand the power of their creative mind and strengthen their imaginative skills by drawing on them daily. The masses are oblivious to this awesome natural gift. Champions combine the power of imagination with their penchant for action, and the result are the stuff of which dreams are made of. While the middle class is scolding their children for daydreaming and letting their imagination run, the great ones are impacting the world with the manifestation of their visions. As the Aborigines are fond of saying, the world class is literally dreaming their world alive. Dreaming their world alive. This is where it starts. It starts in your imagination. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you can't see something in your mind, it's likely you will never hold it in your hand. This is why your thinking is so important. Have you taken time? I know last week, or days blend together for me, right? It might have been last week, might have been 2 weeks ago. I don't know. We were talking about, right, solitude, getting away, getting time with yourself to get your imagination right, to get your mind right. How often do you take time just for you? No distractions, no influences, no TV, no social media, no computer, sometimes no lights, right? Like just sit with yourself and let your imagination go. And then do you start writing some things down? Do you start journaling? Do you start putting some of these things on paper so that you can actually start going after these things? If you have enough things on paper that you are looking at on a daily basis, you will start to think differently about your life, which will cause you to make better decisions. If you know the person that you want to become and you look at that person all the time and that person is right very close, you can see it. You can see it in your mind's eye. You can become that person because you're going to make new decisions, because you're going to do things differently. That's how we get there. It starts in our imagination. Just like ET said, at 200 years ago, people didn't think we were going to fly. Now we're flying all over. It was in someone's mind. It was in someone's head that we can do this. So what's in your mind for your life, for your family's life, for the people that you care about, that you love? Like, what's in your mind for you and them? When I say we're going off to design our ideal life, what does that look like for you? What does designing your ideal life, ideal? I shared this with you again last week. It's probably not that you do nothing. That's probably not your ideal life. We listened to a guy that said, if that's what you think, if you think your dream is to never work and never have responsibility, that's a trauma response for you being in survival mode too long. That's what that is. That's not what we were designed to do. God didn't put us on this earth to just chill and relax and look at the ocean all day long, right? We have an impact. We have things that we're bringing to the world. Like, you have specific talents and skills and gifts that other people need. So, are you putting it in your mind, in your imagination, what your ideal life looks like? If you're not clear, get clear. And then we can start making some better decisions, y'all. Here's what it says in the action step for today. Commit to investing 3 minutes each day. And anyway, it says allow your imagination to run wild with the ideas of your perfect life. Allow your imagination to run wild with the ideas of your perfect life. Remember to ask this question, this daily question. If there were no limits, what would I be, have, and do? Forget about the how-to part of the equation during this exercise and suspend any disbelief you may have. This 3-minute daily habit has the power to transform your life forever. Are you willing to take the time to really transform your life? Are you willing to take the time to really sit down and write down what you want and imagine your ideal life and let your mind run wild, and then do the work that's required? Because that's the process. It starts with the vision. Then we got to start making some better decisions. You got to start waking up and doing some things a little bit differently. And I'm here on the journey to be able to help you get there. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve to win. Your families deserve to win. If no one ever tells you that, I will always tell you that, because you deserve it. And people are counting on you. They're counting on you to get this information. They're counting on you to learn and grow and do all this stuff. And this stuff is hard. But this is the stuff that dreams are made of. This is the stuff that gets you to your ideal life. And if you're willing to commit to these things, you'll be able to get to your ideal life, y'all. Go out, do something this weekend that scares you. Ron, I got to learn it in Spanish, brother. I got to. I'll get it. I'll get it. Don't worry. Right? But do something that scares you, pushes you out of your comfort zone, and let's come back next Monday ready to rock and roll in a brand new week. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Take care.